Honey, please don't be upset. ZWO came out with this new piece of kit, and it's essential for my hobby.
This is an upset.
Ah! I hope you enjoyed that little skit. It seems like a lot of people describe their relationship with their spouse that way when it involves anything astrophotography related. But fortunately, I have a really good marriage, and my wife was actually happy that I got this thing. Well, not this thing. This is the original ZWO ASIAIR. I saw this thing at NEAF when they released it, and when I saw it, and I saw what it did, I was like, I gotta have that. And okay, let me tell you, like, this is how I used to do my astrophotography. I used to have to set up a table and a chair with cables everywhere and all this stuff connected to my telescope. I had to do a 3-star alignment. I mean, setting up every single night was literally a 1-hour ordeal. Today, I do it in 5 minutes. So thanks to the Air, basically, my setup sequence now is very simple. I bring my telescope out, I plop it down on pre-positioned pucks underneath the feet, and then I basically refine the polar alignment, and then I go inside and I just control the rest of this from my phone in my easy chair, or if you're like the guys at OPT, you do it in a bubble bath. But yeah, it's an awesome thing, and it has revolutionized and also allowed me to do many things that were just too complicated to figure out. I know back in the days when I was running this thing from a laptop, I was sitting there trying to figure out plate solving, and plate solving from a laptop, you gotta get all the drivers and the ASCOM stuff and make sure everything's compatible and get the right chords, and some of the chords don't like talking to each other, and it's just a freaking nightmare getting everything to work. With the ZWO ASIAIR, it's basically a plug and play sequence. You know, you plug it in, it's a ZWO product, it will just work, you know, and that's what's kind of great about it. The very first ASIAIR that they came out with was really just a rebranded Raspberry Pi 3. It was nothing really special about it other than it had their software on it, and then they screen printed their logo on the front. The next version was really quite the reiteration, and it's obviously they put a lot of time and thought into this because, well, they were selling a ton of these things. And I gotta say that it was a great idea, except for one thing, and that was the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi, it doesn't go anywhere, really. I mean, it's literally, when I was using this thing, if I sat down next to my telescope, I would start having spotty connections. I had to stand next to my telescope in order to maintain good connection of this thing. You know, that's how bad the Wi-Fi was. It was basically not even a Wi-Fi. I mean, they might as well gotten rid of the little Wi-Fi logo there because it hardly had it. Now, I did notice though that when I was out at the farm and I didn't have any interference with the 20-something other Wi-Fi networks around here, this thing did do a little bit better. I had 10 to 15 foot range. So let's enter the latest edition of the ASIAIR family. So this is the Plus model. And I gotta say, in my testing so far, this thing has been phenomenal. It's super stable. It is much more stable than any of the previous ones behind it. And the Wi-Fi on it has been fixed, and they did that by putting an external antenna here. Now this is only a 2 decibel antenna, but it's a standard antenna thread, so you can get like a 14 or a 10 decibel antenna, stick it on here, and it will greatly improve the range even further. Now I'm just keeping the original one on there, mainly because I need the space up here, and also it connects to my network just fine. The last ASIAIR Pro, I could not get it to connect to my network no matter how close I got it to a Wi-Fi station. And even using the Vonage extenders, it never really 100% worked. So this is our other small setup. This is my wife's rig. And as you can see, I'm still using the ASIAIR Pro here because, you know, the other Plus that I've ordered hasn't come in yet. But as you can see, these Vonage connectors is kind of something that ZWO came out with, and actually people were kind of already using a lot of, was these Ethernet-based Wi-Fi extenders to kind of help with the whole networking issue. But, you know, it's more stuff to be plugged in, and I'll tell you right now that getting the whole thing started and just connected, it adds another step and it makes it longer, and it keeps me out here longer, essentially setting up at night, which, you know, I don't like, and my wife especially doesn't like it. But the Plus has definitely fixed this Wi-Fi issue, and I am truly happy and enthralled about that. So I wanted to take these all 3 generations apart for you and just kind of really show you that these are 2 very different ASIAIRs. This right here is the original. It came out of, you know, this case right here. It's just a typical Raspberry Pi 3 case, and it came with this is a proprietary little USB power system, and there you go, a Raspberry Pi 3. And I think it's a Plus on top of that. And this right here, this is the 4. And there you see a Raspberry Pi 4 inside of here. And then ZWO was manufacturing this. This is a proprietary board made by them or somebody for them that basically handles all the power and interfaces with the Pi. The new board is really, it's still a Raspberry Pi 4 processor, okay? But it is a different beast altogether. It has much faster memory. In the older version, your operating system was loaded onto one of these, and these things don't read and write very fast, okay? Whereas this guy, because of where its operating system is loaded, it loads and unloads and processes things way faster than the original does. And it also stays a lot cooler, I've noticed. This guy gets quite a bit hotter than the new one does. So those of you who work in very hot climates, you definitely should think about getting a Plus. And also, I also kind of want to mention that this thing does not crash as often as this guy does. And I shouldn't say, like, crashing really is very rare for this anyways. But I think the reason why this guy does not and will not crash as often is because of where the memory is written. Instead of being written on one of these old cheap cards, it's written to a much better eMMS type memory system, and that allows it to have very definite 1s and 0s written to the memory chip. Whereas these older systems, those 1s and 0s were kind of close to each other. And if you understand a little bit about binary language and stuff, it means that sometimes a 1 or a 0 can turn into or flip places. And that's kind of the stuff that causes these things to crash, and then they have to reinstall or recover your operating system. The newer system, the newer way of storing the operating system is much better, and it's much more proprietary. And I gotta say, this really looks like a professional product that is gonna go places. And then of course there you can see the normal antenna outlet, which, you know, you can keep their 2 decibel, or, you know, you can put on a much bigger antenna if you wish. But there you go, there's the guts of the 3. All 3 of them are very different. In my opinion, this guy has run much more smoothly. The older Pro, I didn't trust it to do planning modes, you know, multiple targets throughout a night. This guy here, I've had very good success with it, and as the software gets better, I think it's just going to get more and more reliable. Alright, before I close this thing back up, I just want to point out one more thing. You can actually see right here, there's little break points, and what that is as they're making these wafers in a series, you know, they're breaking them off there. So, you know, this is obviously ZWO's manufacturer. At least the bottom board is. The top board, which has the Raspberry Pi 5 in it, is, you know, I'm sorry, the Raspberry Pi 4 is a Raspberry Pi 4. And then one other thing I kind of noticed is that they did swap the position of the USB 3. So the USB 3 is now on the outside edge, which I think is great because this is the set that you tend to use the most, and it just makes it a little bit easier to access. If you've got something in the Ethernet port, well then the USB 3 is in between these 2 sets of plugs, and it just kind of makes getting to it a little bit harder. I know I run the camera in through one USB port, and then I have a USB 3 thumb drive run into the other. That way if I do planetary, I can have incredibly high speeds between the 2 of them. So just another little touch that I think ZWO did this right. Now, I don't know how many other channels out there you watch, but I was watching the Lazy Geek, okay? He's a guy over in Tokyo doing astrophotography from his balcony under an extremely light polluted sky, and he has tried out the Plus, and I have never seen him use the word wow so many times in a single video. It was just one wow after another, and that really is kind of the way the Plus is. This is a very mature product. This is very well thought out. I really don't think there are any more holes left in the system. From now on, it's basically just market domination for CWO as far as I'm concerned. Just adding little things here and there, and maybe increasing the number of drivers for other products and stuff that they will support. So I am getting rid of both of my ASIAIR Pros, and I'm going to be replacing them with Pluses. I've just got to wait for the other one to come yet. This one came to me because I'm a beta tester early. And the original, I am going to hang on to this guy. He's so light. I mean, he weighs like nothing. This is great for taking on the airplane with basically a sky tracker and do guiding that way.